So welcome. So based on my adventures today with working on some stuff, it's just the importance of coming back to the core of things. Whatever you're doing, whether it's in the world, whatever activity you're undertaking, there's a core to it, isn't it? There's the if you could strip it back to the simplest thing, it's the most important thing you probably should be working on, making sure that's taken care of, and then next thing, and then next thing, and next thing. And for me, this seems to be the most successful way to do things. Always have an awareness of what the core is, of what you're trying to achieve and what you do, so you don't splinter out. It's like you can get onto your phone and you have an intention of getting onto your phone to do something, and then a message pops up, and then there's a link in the message, then you're on that link, and then you can end up all over the place. But really there's a core of what's going on. And it's the same in this game. The core is this game being enlightenment, awakening, self-realization, whatever you want to call it, non-duality. The core of what this is pointing at is emptiness. It's the same fundamentals that works in the world that works in your life as a whole, as a being here, but also what that arises from, which is recognizable from this instrument, this spacesuit. But the core is that before the spacesuit, before your name, before everything, you were the nothingness, the infinite nothingness. We were talking about it last night in a meeting. Like Carlos Castaneda's last book was called "The Active Side of Infinity." What a beautiful set of words! Like the infinite, the nothing that you are, is active. It's alive and incredibly vibrant. And all comes from it. It's the source of everything. It's the source of everything. And I've heard it put this way, like each different people, from one of Nisargadatta's students, his name's eluding me right now, but he put it this way, which I really liked, was a good way of explaining it, is you have all your different utensils in the kitchen, your kettle, your toaster, your blender, your juicer, right? These are all the things, So they all have their own thing they do, like on the earth, but they all are useless without power. They all don't function without power. They're nothing without power, without a source. And that's what I'm talking about here. What is the root of it all? What is the life force, the source? Where does it come from? Look there. Look to the core. Look to the center. Look to the beginning. We're so distracted with all the manifestations of the power that's supplying the vehicles, the instruments that do this and do that, and everything's got its own little thing it does, but it's the same power in all of it. It's the same power driving it all. And the discovery is that humans are able to discover with this intellect and this communication ability and the freedom of time we can get given, especially in the modern world, if we play our cards well and don't get too materialistic. Or if we've been so successful we have time as well, is that you can discover this core, and this is the ability we have as humans, and this is why it's such a precious, rare gift, not to be wasted. Not to be wasted. And how do you not waste it? You discover what you are, and what you discover is this active side of infinity, this vast emptiness that you are, and everything that you see is in it. You are the power, and you are what the power arises in. And what blocks us from seeing that is a thing called self-importance. It could be called ego, identity. Self-importance is a really good word for it, again from the Toltec tradition, but also we all know it, right? What self-importance means is that we have so much attention on ourselves and our interaction in the world and our responses in the world and our output in the world that we can't see where the power's coming from and what we actually are under all that story. And we're missing the greatest, most amazing, incredible thing. It is, if you see it or you've seen it, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It's indescribable. It's beyond anything the mind's going to think up and imagine what happiness, imagine what joy is, imagine what contentment is. It's like imagining the taste of sugar. You can't do it. And you've never tasted sugar before. But when you know, you know. When you've seen it, you've seen it. And then you become a true student, a true seeker, because it's far beyond anything you might have experienced before. And this is the true jewel. It's the jewel of consciousness. It's a discovery that you're that now. But we're distracted. That's all. Distracted. And we've been distracted for a long time. So layers upon layers upon layers build up. Agreements upon agreements. Beliefs upon beliefs. Stories upon stories. Defense upon defense. And we've lost the source. We've lost the core of what we do and what we are. And we become these our external shields and filters and ideas. We become that story that goes by our first name. That story that goes by our first name, not reality. Because the story changes. And anything that changes is not intrinsically real. The source never changes. It's still silent, empty, vibrant, so alive, so alive. Everything's alive. You discover everything's alive. And you're that aliveness itself that's split off into millions of objects, billions of objects. Apparently, apparition. I have nothing more to say. Please like or subscribe if you found value. Meet Rohan via rohan.life.